The enemy will no longer be able to control you. The enemy will no longer be able to deplete you. People, places, and things that don't serve you can no longer have any more of you. God wants you to know that he's a man of war. God wants you to know he's in the process of taking you places. God wants you to know he's in the process of giving you rest. But what you got to understand, well, you don't have any vision, you will perish. Just because you don't understand who you are doesn't mean that you have to give up. Just because you don't understand the things in which God is about to do for you doesn't mean that you feel as if you're defeated. See, God wants you to know right now you must not be afraid of change. What God wants you to know right now, you must not be afraid of being whole. Just because you have sat around people, places, and things that has refused to change does not mean that you have the excuse not to. Because God wants you to know that he has something for you. God wants you to know that he has something for you so that you can give to the world. See, what you got to understand, even when you feel as if you're not important, you're always important to God's eyes because that's why he created you. You must first understand, well, you have no vision, you will perish. Yes, you may not know who you are. Yes, you might be going through a heartbreak. Yes, you might feel less than. Yes, you might feel as if you're not enough. But God wants you to know right now that he needs you to see yourself as his greatest creation. God's in the process of strengthening you. God is in the process of raising you up. God's in the process of letting you let go of that unforgiveness. Because when you don't know how to see things as if they were in which God created it, you tend to take on a false identity. And see, what God wants you to understand right now, he doesn't want you to confuse your past with your present. I'm going to repeat that again. God doesn't want you to confuse your past with your present. Because what God wants you to know, he's in the process of giving you your true identity. God wants you to know that he has plans to prosper you, not harm you, but to give you hope in the everlasting future. God wants you to find joy in your current situation. See, when you don't have peace, joy, and calmness, when you're in your current situation, you tend to go to things that are opposing of what God says. What does that mean? Things of depression, things of suicide, ways of thinking that are detrimental to the success in which God is trying to give onto you. That is a thing in which we constantly face when we don't know who we are. We tend to take on the bad of the things in which we want to come into our life. We tend to feel less than. We tend to feel belittled because we confuse the lies with God's truth. The lies of the enemy does not have the power to overthrow God's truth. I'm going to repeat that again. The lies of the enemy does not have the control to overpower God's truth.